Hi everyone. The next concept is typecasting. So, what is the typecasting? So, the process of converting one data type value into another type. So, I'm repeating the process of converting the value of one data type. Data type means int, float, double. Okay, those are the different data types we already discussed. So, now the conversion of value of one data type into another data type. So, then that the process is called as a typecasting or type conversion. Okay, so in Java we have two types of castings. One is a widening casting, the second one is a narrowing casting. So what is a widening casting? So widening casting is also called as automatic casting. Okay, so converting a smaller type to a larger types, converting smaller type data type into larger type size. Okay, so we'll see what are the smaller sizes means byte, short, char, int. So this is the hierarchy. This is from left to right. We have a low to high priorities in sizes. So byte having the lowest size than the short. Short has lowest size in char. Int has lowest in long. Then float has lowest size than double. Okay, so from left to right when we move, so we have a low to high size in data. Okay, so means widening simply converting smaller type data to the larger type. Okay, and this is also called as a automatic conversion. When comes to the narrowing casting, it is also called as a manual casting or conversion. So what is happening here the conversion of a larger type to a smaller size is happening. Okay, so the quite opposite this statement is like this. We can write when we go left to right, so the size may decrease. So double having actually more size than float has more size than long. Okay, from left to right if you move, so the size will decrease. So the size means number of bytes to occupy a data. Okay, so what is a widening typecasting? We'll see with an example. So once again repeat what is a widening typecasting. Widening typecasting is also called as a automatic casting. So it Java automatically converts one data type to another data type. Okay, so we'll see the example. We have a class, we have a main method. There we are declaring a variable integer num equal to 10. It is a data type. It is a variable name equal to, it is a literal integer and literal we are assigning to a num variable. Why? Because the data type is int. Okay, so we are trying to print the value like this. Okay, system.out.println the integer value plus is nothing but a concatenation operator. So num value is 10 we are trying to print. Okay, so now we have to convert this data into double. So that's why double data we are taking. Data is a variable and this is a double type, and we are assigning num value. Actually num is a integer. So what we are trying to do here is, so we are giving integer value to the double data. Okay, so now we'll see what is happening. So and again we are trying to print the double value. Okay, so see the example. If it is an integer value, we have a 10. If it is a double value, 10.10. Okay, so what is happening here? Here the integer value which is having the lowest priority than the double is automatically converted by the Java. Okay, so when we convert, the data literal value also changed like this. If it is a integer, we don't have any precision points, right? But here we have a precisions, right? So that is happening. So automatically Java converts integer data into the double data. So double data representation is like this. Okay, so widening typecasting means Java automatically converts one data type to another data type. That one data type is nothing but from lower data type to the higher data type. Okay, from lower, these are the lower data types. Lower data types in the sense the size is less for byte, for short, char, int. So, okay, these are occupying the less size in memory when compared with the long, float, double, like that. Okay, so whereas narrowing means the reverse of it. So in the above example, what is happening? So we are trying to assign, we are taking an integer variable num, and we are trying to assign that data, that variable to a data. That is a type of double. Okay. So first what is happening? This is a integer data. Java converts that integer data into the double, and then double data can be assigned to the double data. Okay. So that is happening. The entire procedure is called as a widening typecasting. Lower data types means having smaller size or converted into the higher data types, that means larger sizes. Okay, but the biggest issue with this widening typecasting is here we don't have a loss of data. Okay, if you see here, already we have a 10 and we have again 10 only. Okay, we just, the system just added a precision, that's all. Okay, there is no loss in data. Okay, so that is the biggest goodness of this particular widening typecasting. Okay, and this typecasting is also called as a implicit typecasting. Okay, so type conversion is nothing but the process of conversion one data type to another data type. In that we have widening and narrowing. Widening is also called as a automatic conversion, or else simply implicit typecasting or type conversion. Implicit typecasting or widening typecasting or automatic typecasting. So all are similar. Okay, synonyms to each other. The next one is narrowing typecasting. Narrowing typecasting is nothing but so converting one data type to another data type. Okay, same. So conversion into the another data type is happening in both widening as well as narrowing. But the thing is, in the widening, so from a lower data type to the higher data type conversion is possible, but whereas narrowing, higher data type to the lower data type is possible. Okay, so just observe that. Here we are taking an example. There we are trying to taking an example where we are trying to convert a double into the integer, whereas a double having the highest size, whereas int has lowest. Okay, so class we are taking, main method we are taking double num. Same example with a different types of inputs. Initially there in the previous example we are taking integer data, then we convert it to the double data, but here we are taking double data. Now it can be converted into the int data. Okay, so double num 10.99 is the, so double is the data type, num is the variable, 10.99 is the literal. So we are trying to print the value, and after that integer data, new variable we are taking. So we are trying to assign this num into this one. Okay, so there you have to specify the casting operator. This is actually casting operator. Within the parenthesis, if you specify the type of data, if num is one type double, if you want to convert this num into integer, you have to specify to which data type we have to convert. If it is int, you can specify the int. If it is a float, you have to specify the float. Okay, from double to we are trying to convert int now, so that's why we have to specify the int here. Okay, so double data can we try to convert into the integer, that's why so I am specifying int in parenthesis. That is nothing but typecasting operator. So within the parenthesis, if you specify the data type, that is actually typecast operator. Okay, so now what in the statement what is happening, integer data new variable, so I am assigning num double value into it, but the thing is I am trying to force that so you just convert this num double into int, so that I am trying to specify here. Okay, so then we are trying to print. So this is the values we have. So when we print a double value 10.99, whereas when we try to, after converting, the data will print like this 10. Okay, so if you observe the output, there we lost the 0.99 value. Okay, so that is the biggest problem with the narrowing typecasting. Okay, so the same thing. So we have a num double data variable, so we are trying to give that data into the integer, but we are forcing the num to convert into the integer. That's why we have a typecasting here. Okay, this kind of casting is actually called as a narrow type casting, which means converting higher data types to the lower data types. Okay, so but the problem with this, in the widening casting we have a advantage that there is no loss of data, but here we have a disadvantage, that is nothing but a loss of data. So see here, so actually the value of num is nothing but 10.99, but after conversion we have a value 10, that means 0.99 value we lost that. Okay, so that is a loss of data. So this type of this actually this is actually forcibly done by the user. Okay, not automatically happen by the system. Okay, this is also called as a explicit typecasting. Okay, so you have to understand the difference between what is implicit and explicit. Implicit means here we are not specifying any casting operator. See, okay, so just by default the system automatically converts performs the casting conversion, but here so we are forcibly presenting some typecast operator. We are telling the system you just convert the num, which is a double, into integer. Okay, so this is meant forcing. So we are specifying typecast operator, that is actually explicit. Okay, without specifying any operators or doing anything, okay, the system automatically did something, means that is implicit, whereas we are forcing, the system doesn't do anything automatically, and after that that forcing, or that is we are specifying explicit operator here. We are specifying explicit operator here, that is nothing, specifying casting operator here, that is called as a explicit typecasting. Okay, so some other examples to convert into string. So integer 10, num is actually integer, so string data. So here we have a new method, value of method is used to convert num data into the string data. So actually value of is a method of a string class, predefined class, so that's why we are defined like that. A value of is a static class, a static method, so that's why I am specifying class name also, string dot value of class name, and after that value of a method. Okay, so when we observe the output, their integer value is 10. When comes to the string value is also 10. Okay, so of course you may have a doubt here, both are values 10, then what is the use of a conversion? Okay, so here you don't find any differences, but when you use these data in further, so for example if you try to add a 2 value for the num, then it will give a value of 12, but when you try the same adding of 2 with for the string 10, it will give an error. Why? Because it is a string data, it is an integer data. You cannot add, you can add two integer numbers with an addition operator, it will give an output, but when you try to add numeric data to the string data, it will give an error. Okay, so if you add the string data to another string data with the plus operator, there it is a concatenation operator. Here it is a string, and here num means it is actually a string data. Why? Because so many times we discussed that, so any data can be treated as a string only. Okay, so num is a string data, of course it is a integer data type, but when comes to the printing of, here num is a variable name, and the integer value is a string, so both are actually combined with a plus operator. Plus is a concatenation operator. Okay, so like this, so if you try to add this integer data to another data, it will give an output, but it is a string data. If you add, it will give an error. Okay, so another conversion is a string to int. So here integer dot parseInt is a method where you can convert the string data into the integer. Okay, so integer is a predefined class, and a parseInt is a static method. That's why we are using integer dot parseInt. Okay, so this is the way you can convert a string to int. Okay, so if the system is unable to conversion of this, conversion is not possible, then the system may arise a number format exception. Okay, so we'll see the exceptions in the next chapters. So one more example. So int myInt 9, Okay, integer we are trying to convert into the double. Okay, of course it is a automatic typecasting. Why? Because integer having the lowest size, whereas a double having the highest size. Okay, so that is about typecasting types and examples. Okay, so this is about typecasting. But when comes to the access modifiers, this is the leftover topic in the previous topics. Okay, so we have access modifiers, right? Private, default, protected and public. Okay, so there is a accessibility issue. So if a private data within a class, is it accessible? I mean, it is accessible, and by if any data having a default access specifier within a class, it is usable, accessible. Within a, if it is a protected, means if any variable or a member of a class can be defined with a private, default, protected, public access specifiers, so they can be accessible within a class. But within the package, only default, protected, public members can be accessible, not the private members. Okay, so within the class only they are accessible. So within the package, if other class are trying to access, that is not possible. Okay, so outside the package, protected and private data can only be accessible, not the private and default, means accessibility. This access modifier defines the accessibility. All data members can be accessible within a class, but except private, remaining all accessible within a package. Except private and default, remaining all accessible to outside of a package. Okay, by only subclasses. Outside a package, but only subclasses. Outside a package, only public data can be accessible, not other. Okay, so if you define any member, mean variable or a method, so these are the things you have to remember. Okay, whenever it defines a private, is it accessible to outside of the class? No, it is not accessible. When you define any data as a public, is it accessible outside of package? Yes, it is accessible. So like that, you can, if you want to access any data outside of the package, so you can declare it as a public. If you want to restrict any data to access outside of the outside of the package, then you can declare it as a protected. Okay, so like this, these are the access modifiers, and these are the issues related with the accessing of those data. Okay, that's all.